Now, switching from Russia to the southern hemisphere, this question comes from Argentina. And this is from Rosina Castillo, and she asks, recently in Argentina, we've had a series of mysterious deaths of public officers, and also our president, Cristina Kirchner, has had a serious illness, because of which she had surgery. We are still operating under our vice president to this day due to that illness. Rosina says, we cannot see these developments as separated from the context of the real world history as you have defined it. We're at the verge of thermonuclear World War III, and the British will do whatever to unleash chaos in the world. Until now, we thought that given the recent moves from the Russians to stop the Southwest Asian Balkans to get into a war, maybe now the British will look into other places like Argentina to start a war. As you know very well, the conflict about the Malvinas Islands is escalating. And today, the British Prime Minister accused Argentina of being colonialist and said their Security Council will meet to straighten the security of the islands, given that the 30th anniversary of the Malvinas War is very close. So we want your comments on the strategic situation in Argentina and help the political circles here take this strategic perspective.
I'm very well aware of the Malvinas history. The Malvinas was stolen from the United States by the British at a time of weakness in the United States. The British never had a legal claim to the Malvinas. They just stole it. Now, it played a crucial part in the history of the administration of Ronald Reagan, because you had people in the Reagan administration, including the Secretary of State and others, who were nothing but British agents. And so the problem was that, and Reagan backed off on this thing, he was hesitation on his part at a certain point. That was a point that I was rather close to the inside of certain of these circles in the Reagan administration, not as a part of the administration, but as, shall we say, a friendly advisor on SDI and so forth. So the point is, the British have no decent legal claim to the Malvinas. But they do intend to crush every part of the world that has sovereignty. And the distinction is, you look at the finances of South America, look at Asia, Africa, for example. There is no sovereignty in Africa, none. There's only one worse tyranny than another. The British, and it's British. Now you've got people in Europe, forces in Europe, which are also in charge of this Africa, but they're all agents of the British interest, the British colonial interest. So the thing we have to do, among one thing, which is to an unpleasant group of people, the British oligarchy. The British oligarchy has to be removed from power throughout the world. Let the people of the United Kingdom, or the Scotland and England, or Wales and Scotland and England, but especially Ireland and Scotland and so forth in England, let them each have their sovereignty, and we shall do just fine. And people will not be, we don't have to torture people for the pleasure of the Queen of England and similar kinds of people. And this is exactly that. We have some foul balls who are more British than they are Americans in high positions in the United States. I think we ought to swap. I think we ought to take some British fellows who are nice people and know how to behave themselves and invite them to the United States and give the British agents inside the United States the option of living in Britain, which we more than strongly encourage them to do.